Are you stupid or something? You probably are, and buddy, that's alright. You're in the right place to learn some stuff, so stick around and you just might. My name is Notme, and I'll be asking some Q's, and at the end you'll be riddled with A's. You might score real high, but even if not, you'll sure be glad you played. If you're looking for prizes, just move along, there's no money for you to earn. You win by trying and doing your best, your prize is the stuff you learn. If you want to be an artiste, you have to know all you can about the world of art. So engage with this quiz, and at the end you'll say, I am smart.
I am not me. I am art. And I am your host for I Am Smart, the quiz where people look to improve their art through learning and strive to earn the right to say, I am smart. The format of the quiz, very simple, very straightforward. I'm going to give you 3 rounds of questions. I'm going to give you 3 musings at the end of those rounds. And I'm going to give you a 2-point bonus round at the end. 20 points overall up for grabs here. All you're going to need for this quiz, something to write with, something to write on, a brain for thinking, and an imaginosphere for imagining. Both will be tested here. Optional is a beverage, because whilst it is nothing to do with the actual quiz, we do like to kick things off with a toast. I'd like to kick things off with a toast. Just brings the group together before the communal learning can begin. So I've got my large water bottle here, ready for the hydration. To Storm Eunice, that has been ravaging the UK this week. Storm Eunice, who taught us that old people can still have agency. One assumes that with the name Eunice, she is pushing 80 years old and content to run out the clock, talking to cashiers and writing angry letters to Comcast about TV shows where boys kiss boys. But let me tell you, she will steal your umbrella, she will knock your dad on his ass, and destroy your garden furniture. Old people, huh? To Eunice. What's going on with the... Okay. There's some kind of issue with the green screen there, but we're all... I have updated the green screen. I've updated the entire camera setup. I did that yesterday. Nana Hobob kicking off with some hard liquor, a little bit of whiskey. Early doors for Nana Hobob, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to criticise you for that. Who have we got here? Your girl Sarah Kilch, hello. Hello to you, your girl Sarah Kilch. Definitely not Duda. Lovely to see you, definitely. Lovely to see you. Nana Hobob, of course. Killer Kilch, good morning, Smarties. Good morning to you. Your girl Sarah Kilch, imaginosphere is in a bit of disrepair. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Things break from time to time. The best place to repair your imaginosphere, right here. Right here. We're just going to nurture it. We're not going to force it. Just going to give it a little bit of food. Just gonna ease it up like a potter on a potter's wheel, just easing up that vase, easing it up, not forcing it because then it'll just start slapping around. Ease it up, yeah? Ease it up. And I think by the end of this quiz, your imaginosphere will be in a much better place. Legally speaking, I can't guarantee that. But in my heart of hearts, I do believe that, and I hope that's enough for you. TB Douglas, hello to you. Killer Kilch, so not Harry Potter. No. Hello there. My word. So Killer Kilch is a high point scorer from last week, as we all recall and remember, which means that Killer Kilch gets to choose a round. Let's see what the rounds are available for this week. Here we go. What a dozen this is. We've got yay or nay, spotlight, nart, gimme 5, red herring, who dat artiste, odd one out, movie ladder, iconic art, anagram a ding dong, not me wood, and look close. We've got all the classics. So Killer Kilch, at your leisure, which is American for leisure, which of these rounds would you most like to engage with this week? So many good choices, says Nana Hobob, and I absolutely agree. Some real killers here. I didn't do I didn't do a lyrics round because we've had I feel like a couple of lyrics rounds, maybe 2 lyrics rounds on the bounce, or 2 in 3 weeks. So I thought we'll give that a little rest. Allow some others to take the 4. And I think we're looking at a real good week. Killer Kilch wants to go for Movie Ladder. What a great choice. For the other 2 rounds that we'll be playing this week, of course, we are using the patented, that's disappearing, the patented, Notme created round selector. There's the logo. iamnotme. There we go. So should we get some cool music? Should we try and get some cool music? I was a bit more organized this week, so we've got a little bit more in terms of, so that we've got the music and stuff. I'm sure you're enjoying that on the countdown. I think we can get harder than this. This is supposed to be EDM, guys. Can we skip into the track a little bit? No? Okay, that's... Let's pick some rounds. It's 2 rounds that we had last week as well. Gosh, do you know what? You couldn't write it, could you? You couldn't write it. You absolutely couldn't write it. So this week we're going with Movie Ladder, we're going with Gimme 5, and we're going with Red Herring again. Again. And that's fine. Your girl Sarah Gulch turned into an absolute banger. Yeah, we got it. We got it in the end. Exploration by Junkalicious. Gosh, really shouldn't have doubted that. I mean, you're not going to call yourself Junkalicious if you're not putting out absolute bangers day in and day out. Let's play Red Herring. Red Herring, guys. Here we go. So I'm going to give you the answers. I'm going to give you the answers for this one. This is what I'm doing. Sometimes when creating, guys, it's best to start at the end and work backwards. Yeah? Like Martin Campbell, when he made the movie Green Lantern. He knew at the end of that film, he wanted to make an astonishingly attractive Hollywood couple with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. He knew he needed to get those 2 together. But how would he start that off? Yeah? That's the Martin Campbell effect. In this round, we're going to start with the answers. We're going to give you the questions, but which question goes with which answer? Nice and simple. What is the topic that we're dealing with, though? What is the topic that we're dealing with? Oh, TB Douglas. Thank you, TB Douglas. Wow, getting the handing of the cameraman George role. In the Red Herring round, not me, I'll ask you 5 questions. Also, give you the answers to these questions. You got it. You can read. What we're dealing with 21st century authors. So the answers to all of these questions are going to be 5 of the best-selling, highest-grossing 21st century authors. Authors selling their books in the 21st century. But there's going to be one that's just going to be there to trip you up. Just going to be one that's there to trip you up as well. And if you go through all of the right answers, then you will get the thing. So here we go. These are our answers. Dan Brown, E.L. James, George R.R. Martin, J.K. Rowling, Stephanie Meyer, and Stig Larsson. I'm not gonna give you any information about them. If you don't know who they are, you're in trouble. That's what we're dealing with here. That's what we're dealing with. Let's get on with some questions. It's only 18 minutes past. We're doing well, guys. We're making efficient choices. Which author's first novel was originally known as Men Who Hate Women? Per red herring tradition, we're going to barrel through these these questions quite quickly, and then we're going to go back and we're going to look at them again, because I think there's an element of you'll fill them in, but then you'll need to go through them again. So that's question one. Question two: which author's other pen name is Snow Queen's Ice Dragon? What a pen name to be conjured with there. It's difficult to tell whether Snow Queen's is the first name or whether it's just an ice dragon that belongs to the Snow Queen. And a little bit of punctuation has been missed off there. Difficult to tell. Question number three. Which author has ideas for 12 further books in their most popular series? Which author has ideas for 12 further books in their most popular series? Which author? Number four. Which author has published 3 different versions of their first hit book? 3 different versions have been published of the first book of one of these authors. And that doesn't count as, translated into different languages. I will say that. Please. And question number 5. Which author bought the first ticket to the world's first Comic Con? Which is short for Comic Book Convention. So let's go back. Let's go back with those. Question number 1. Which author's first novel was originally known as, and that's careful wording, I'll explain to you when I give you the answers, was originally known as Men Who Hate Women? Which one of those? There are certain people that would argue that a lot of books could be known as Men Who Hate Women. And whilst, in this current climate, we do have to listen to those people, I'm not sure we necessarily have to give them our full attention. Question number 2. Which author's other pen name is Snow Queen's Ice Dragon? What does that word mean? Author's other pen name. Tricky. Question number 3. Which author has ideas for 12 further books in their most popular series? I think all of these authors known for one main series of books. I suppose that's the way of things these days, isn't it? It's all about IP. None of the money men want to put out just one book, film, TV show, story. Does this have legs? Ultimately, in the case of some people, could this book be made into a theme park? That's what the editors are interested in. Number 4, which author has published 3 different versions of their first hit book? They've published 3 different versions of their first hit book. Gosh. One could perhaps infer that this is somebody who definitely does not have ideas for 12 further books if they're having to do 2 separate different versions of their first book. But maybe that's unfair. And number 5, which author bought the first ticket to the world's first Comic-Con? Which one of these authors is an old nerd? A real old nerd. Nana Hobop, I'm second guessing myself now. I'm going to go with my gut and change every answer to Stephen King. It's a bold move. It's a bold move, Nana. We'll have to wait until the answers come through to see if it pays off for him. And there we go. Those are all the questions. Let's get rid of these answers in a random order, so you can't infer anything from their order. Is that the end of the round? Absolutely not. We've got to make the sign of the musing. I do wonder whether, when I'm doing that here, as I do every week, the smarties watching at home give the sign of the musing as well. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if that's you, because I haven't asked you to do that, but maybe you just felt moved. The musing. This red herring is, they say everyone has a novel in them. What's yours? It's a simple one. But they do say that everybody out there has a novel in them. Everyone's got that story bubbling away inside them that they could turn into several hundred pages of white-hot literary action. Do you know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering, hey, what's yours? What's yours? What are you writing about? Get that down on your answer sheet. Pitch it as fully or as emptily as you wish. But just give us an idea. Give us an idea of what your novel is. You want to just give me a title and a genre? That's fine. You want to give me beat by beat? Sure. You want to give me an elevator pitch? That's fine also. You want to tell me how you would turn that story into a theme park worthy event? Again, this is your call, guys. It's amusing. It's up to you. But we're going to move back to Maine. Gosh, how is everybody today? Killer Kilch says, freezing rain in Seattle. Yikes. Apologies for that. That's not fun. You think, give me rain or give me snow, yeah? Just make your mind up. Precipitation. Killer also says it was hard not to choose Nart. Yeah, well, that Nart round, as many of these rounds, that Nart round has been locked and loaded for several weeks now. I wrote it months ago. Give Me Five, we've had a lot. Red Herring, we've had a lot. Notme Wood is the first. I sorted that out this week, so that's the first appearance of Notme Wood. Movie Ladder we'd had for a while, but that's being unleashed today thanks to Killer Kilch. An iconic art as well. That hasn't been seen in a while. So yeah, there's Nart, I'd say, is probably the longest, sat on the bench for the longest, if I can use a sporting metaphor there. What have we got next? Let's finish with Movie Ladder. I think. Let's go Give Me Five. Now, gimme five. In art, one good work is never enough, guys. The public, the money, the algorithm, they always want more. So in this round, I'm going to ask you one question and expect 5 answers, yeah? It's unreasonable, sure. But then so is a 16-minute pop song. And Love to Love Your Baby happens to be one of Donna Summer's best, and a handy way of reducing the amount of songs you need to write for an album. It's efficient. Oh, thank you, TB, again. Wonderful stuff. 5 things that fall into this category. Now, I know what this is, and this is in response to people, to you guys. So a few weeks ago, we did a lyrics round based on lyrics from 2013, and y'all said to me, gosh, I can't remember that far back. That was 2013. So I thought, oh yes. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do a lyrics round from like last year. But then I realized nobody would know that. Music, of course, being less effective now than it ever has been before. But what I thought is I could transfer it into a Gimme 5 round. So, here is, if you want modern music, you want to demonstrate your knowledge about modern music, Here's your chance, guys. Give me 5 recording artists who created the top 20 grossing songs of 2021. This is maybe a little bit confusing. What I've done is I have looked up the top 20 grossing songs from 2021 in the US and the UK, transatlantic. And I have written down the artists that created those songs. So if one artist created several songs on that list, they're only going to be on it once. So how many do we have in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 10. So it's probably about 30 people overall. I will say that if a track was featuring somebody, the person who was featured is not on this list. If it's a duet, then it was featured on the list, yeah? Shakira, Hips Don't Lie, featuring Wyclef Jean. Shakira's on it, Wyclef Jean isn't. The Girl Is Mine, Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, both of them are on it, yeah? You see what I mean? So I want you to give me 5 recording artists who created one of the top grossing songs of 2021 on either the US or the UK side. And there was a lot of crossover. I will say there was more crossover than I was anticipating. And I will say, for my sins, there were several people here on this list that I have never heard of. But there are some that I have. I think if it was me, I think I may be able to get 5. But in terms of croc points, i.e. the points where, you know, I ask you for 5 and you actually think of more than 5, and so you don't get any actual points, but you get the kind of points that make you feel like you're wearing a pair of Crocs. Swagger, yeah. It's going to be difficult to get some croc points on this one. Killer Culture is not awesome like 1994. 1994 was, you know, I mean, 1994 had Ace of Base in it, so it's maybe unfair to compare the two. Did anybody get any croc points last week for the Charles Dickens novels? Was anyone able to name more than 5 Charles Dickens novels? I kind of felt like if you were able to, if that was your type of vibe, you'd be able to name more than 5. But yeah, croc points for this going to be pretty tricky. But I believe in you guys. Because if you do have your finger right on the pulse, then this is going to be an absolute piece of lovely Black Forest Gatto. TB Douglas got 12 last week. Yikes! A lot of croc points there. Well done, TB. Lovely croc points there. Felt like you were wearing some lovely fur-lined Crocs, perhaps. Going to give you another couple of moments for this question. 5 recording artists. Let's go with a musing. Musing is, which artist of the past do you think would do best if they were only starting their career in 2022? Which of the past artists that we know and love do you believe would have the best chance, would have that timeless quality, and they'd be able to do well if they were starting their career in 2022, which, if I can shock you, is the year that we're living in right now. So all of you still writing 2020, reflexively, when you're writing the date, unfortunately, you're a couple of years too late. Who do you think's got that timeless sound? Who do you think's got it? I'd be interested to hear that. Let's head back to Maine. So that was a pretty tricky one. But, in my defense, you asked for it. Collectively. So, if you're waiting for me to feel particularly bad about it, you're going to be waiting a while. Do we have a final round? Let's do a final round. Movie ladder. I'm excited about this one, guys. This one's for Killer. Look at Notme there, climbing that ladder. What great mime. What outstanding mime. Movie ladder. Thank you, TB. Taking on the cameraman George role this week. Cameraman George, unfortunately, feeling a little under the weather. If you're wondering whether that is code for he had too many red wines last night, I'm sure I couldn't say. Movie ladder. Movies are often about escaping things, guys. And ladders are great for that. And whilst there wasn't a ladder that could help, say, Morgan Spurlock escape the unhealthy food of McDonald's in his hit documentary Super Size Me, a ladder is easier to represent on screen than Morgan saying, "This is a prison cell of my own construction, and I hold the keys." I'm going to give you 5 movies, guys. I'm going to give you, 6 movies. 5 movies. Because 2 of them are the same. The top and the bottom are the same. Which I thought was important, but now I'm thinking about it. You know, a ladder does have separate rungs, so maybe I'll change for next time. But I'm going to give you some movies, and in between those movies, there are some spaces. And all I need is for you to tell me which actors fill those spaces. Here we go. Here's our board. Here's our board this week for Movie Ladder. So we've got A Quiet Place Part 2. We've got Aloha. We've got Zombieland. We've got No Country for Old Men. We've got Sicario. And we've got A Quiet Place Part 2. Okay? This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. So what we need for all of these numbered answers is, number 1 is an actor that was in A Quiet Place Part 2 and Aloha. Then number 2, we need an actor who is in Aloha and Zombieland, and so on and so forth, down to A Quiet Place Part 2. Okay? So I want 5 actors who are in both the movie above their rung, and the movie below their rung. Do we see? We see. It's pretty straightforward, I think. This is probably the week that I've said the least, because we've got both of our me sit back and you read the stuff off the things with Movie Ladder and Gimme 5. So I'm feeling pretty relaxed, guys. I'm feeling pretty relaxed. I'm feeling so relaxed, in fact. I'm going to go into my little cookie jar here. I'm going to eat a malted milk biscuit. There it is, a malted milk biscuit. Malted milk, one of the UK biscuits that have not made their way across the pond to the US. I do have to have these imported. I've got a biscuit guy. They are a lot more bland than Americans would be used to with regard to their biscuits, what Americans would call cookies. But they are absolutely delicious. And they've got a picture of a cow on them, which reminds you exactly where these... I don't know necessarily whether they've got any beef in them, but you can't taste it. If they're milk, that would be malted milk. Milk would come from the cows. What have we got? What have we got? Uncle Town! Oh my goodness, we've got to go for a... Wow. We've got to go... Okay, yeah. Happy birthday, Uncle Town. We'll have a song. We'll have a birthday song after this. Yeah? Malted milk. My word. Yeah. Yeah, excitement. I've got my light. Got my birthday light ready. I have to put it into the right setting, but I'm sure I can do that. Sure I can do that. And everyone's fine with the actors. Yep, absolutely. Let's go for a musing. Let's go with the final musing of this week. If you lived in the Quiet Place universe with super hearing monsters, what sound would inevitably give away your location and cause you to be eaten? Wowzers! What emote work from Killer Kilts there? So many that it is causing a lot of buffering there. And Gamer Hall, hello. And Super Nash went 8. My word! Everybody's here. The gang's all here. Hello, guys. A little bit late, but that's fine. It's very creative of you to pick your own start time. That's nice. If you lived in the Quiet Place universe, so for those of you who haven't seen the film, Quiet Place is where these monsters have arrived that are blind, but they've got real good ears, real good hearing, so you have to be really quiet all the time. But what sound do you think would give you away and cause you to be eaten in such a universe? No need for soz, Super Nash 18. No need for soz. No need for soz. You came here when you felt was right. And so that means it was right. And there we go. Let's head back to Maine. Let's head back to Maine. Let's have a little birthday song, shall we? Let's have a little birthday song. Let's gotta get where's the Flash, wasn't it? Is it that one? That's the one. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready with the birthday singing? Because everybody's got to sing. It's got to be a transcontinental, global celebration. Are we all ready? We're all ready, and we're all going to sing. I don't have the lyrics up. I should probably start putting the lyrics up, because this is something that's happening more and more. But we're all going to sing, and we all kind of know the lyrics anyway, don't we? Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy, happy birthday. I'm sending lots of cheer. You found a way to somehow survive another year. Your loved ones will be with you, but they don't get a say in anything you want to do, because it's your special day. Hey, happy birthday, Uncool Town. Many happy returns. SJ Beck 72 is here as well. SJ Beck 72, if you want to improvise a second verse to that, feel free. Feel free. So I've got a better L than N. That's great shortening there, SJ Beck 72. Oh, malted milk, my word. So, I have prepared because we've done with the questions, and you've survived the questions, and I'm proud of you for surviving the questions. Rosé wine gets not me drunk abnormally quickly. It does, actually. It's really weird. I don't know. It's something to do with chemistry, I suppose. So I'd prepared a possibility of a poem or two to celebrate, because I like to give you a bit of art once you've got through the questions, so you can kind of relax. Uncool Town, we have a poem about rats, we have a poem about love, and we have a poem about eagles. Which would you prefer? Gamer Hole, not me. If we think of an adequate second verse for the birthday song, could we email it to you? Nothing would please me more this week, Gamer, to receive an email with the subject line, birthday song second verse? Absolutely. Please send it along. Please send it along. So, Uncool Town, eagle, rats, or love? Nana Hobbob wants a haiku about Uncool Town. Absolutely. And I am getting to them. Let's write this down. My word. I still have one to do for Uncool Town, actually, about peanut butter. Haiku. They're all getting done. Just gotta be a bit patient with me. So, Uncool Town. You did have a request for peanut butter. That is on the list. That's getting there. Definitely Not Duda had one about pickles as well. And then Nana Hobbob had one from a few weeks ago about something else. So they're all getting done. I've written them all down somewhere, and they are all getting done. Full-time work is tricky. So, Uncool Town. Do you want a poem about love, rats, or eagles? Gosh, I love pickles. We're all hashtag pickle fans. Definitely Not Duda. We're all hashtag pickle fans. Uncool Town. Anytime you want. Love, rats, or eagles? And I'll give you a poem. Take your time, my sweetheart. Take your time. Gamer Hole wants lot of people going rats. A lot of people going rats. Rats are overwhelming response to that. Okay. Are we ready? We're ready for the rats? Yeah? Okay. The black sack was moving. 'Twas alive. A shadow. A squeal. A rat-shaped shadow hauling ass across the path. I was shocked. A rat in New York City? How disgusting. But the sack squirmed still. Alliteration. A wriggle of rats remained inside. Also alliteration. How disgusting. I thought of them in there, nibbling, sniffing, squirming, staying warm, feeding, socializing, dancing, creating, living. How disgusting? No. How sweet. Rats trying to make their way in the world. They were I, and I they. Then one ran out over my foot and I wanted to napalm the bag. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That is semi-autobiographical. Happy birthday, Uncle Town. I hope you appreciate that poem. Shall we get on with some answers? Shall we get on with some answers? Thank you, definitely. Thank you, definitely. Rats off to you, Nana. Get out of town with that kind of stuff. That's wonderful. That's really great. That's really great. Game of Hole, that was horrifying. Sometimes art is. Rats all, folks. If you can think of a really good third one, I do a really good third one. But otherwise, it's absolutely fine to just leave it be. That's no problem. Great stuff. Let's get on with some answers. Red herring we started with. Red herring. We all remember that, I believe. The musing. They say everyone has a novel in him. What's yours? What is everybody's poem? And if you came in late, don't be afraid to get involved with this yourself. Don't be afraid to get involved with this yourself. Get it in the chat. Get it in the chat. Thank you, Killer. Starting that off. The rat's out of the bag, according to the poem. That's, yeah. You did have a good third one, so that's good. That's good. That's good. Get them in the chat, guys. Get them in the chat. Here are our answers. And if anyone who came in late wants to have a little stab at these pretty quick, that's absolutely fine. Here are the answers. Dan Brown, E.L. James, George, R.R. Martin, J.K. Rowling, Stephanie Meyer, and Stig Larsson. Question number 1. Which author's first novel was originally known as Men Who Hate Women? The answer to that, very simply, Stig Larsson. His first novel was translated into English as The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But the original Swedish title translates more directly as Men Who Hate Women. Hence my very specific wording there. Question number 2. Which author's other pen name is Snow Queen's Ice Dragon? Which means that one of these is a pen name as well. The answer to that is E.L. James, author of the... what's it? What are they called? The 50 Shades books. Her original pen name, Snow Queen's Ice Dragon, which is, I imagine her editors thought a little less commercially viable, but well done if you got that one right. Number 3, which author has ideas for 12 further books in their most popular series, Rejoice? Fans of Dan Brown and his code cracker, Robert Langdon, I believe his name is, has got ideas for 12 more books, so it will never be shot of him. Never be shot of him. Number 4, which author has published 3 different versions of their first hit book? Very simply, Stephanie Meyer, author of the Twilight books. The first Twilight book, she's written the first one, This is Twilight, How You Do, there we go. She's written the same book from the point of view of the boy, the vampire boy. A whole different book, but it's the same kind of thing. And then the whole same story again, but just gender swapped. Just the genders are swapped over, and that's the only change there. So 3 different versions of that first hit book. So you must really like it. So, the final one. Which author bought the first ticket to the world's first Comic-Con? Was it George R.R. Martin or was it J.K. Rowling? It was, of course, George R.R. Martin, author of the Game of Thrones books. Which means that J.K. Rowling was the red herring. Well done if you got those right. 1 point for each of those that you got correct. Musing. They say everyone has a novel in them. What's yours? Let's have a look at this. Uncle Town, a novel of a red panda named Bob. That's nice. That's nice. Would it be a realistic tale? So you'd just be, more kind of like a kind of March of the Penguins type situation? Or is this more kind of anthropomorphized Cliff of the Big Red Dog kind of situation? Or is it like, Chippendale Rescue Rangers? And it's a red panda that's also a computer program, let's say. Definitely not Judah. A quirky fictionalization about how Nana Hobbob and I met and then got together. Oh my gosh. Sort of how Harry met Sally vibe set in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Guys, you're going to make me cry. You're going to make me shed a tear. That sounds lovely. That sounds lovely. Quirky. Nice. Nice word to describe that. Quirky. It would be, I always think it'd be interesting giving a very truthful tale to a publisher and them saying, hey, I know this is your real life, but maybe you want to punch it up a little bit. Would it kill you to throw in a car chase? Is something that they might say. Some kind of Pacific Northwest, some kind of logging competition or coffee tasting. Something like that. Not saying that they would. Not saying that they would. But you might want to be prepared for that. TB thriller where the central character knows they are the one who committed the crime, but someone else is being blamed. Chaos ensues. The guilt. The guilt of it all, TB. That's lovely. Guilt gnawing away at a central character. That's lovely. Knows they are the ones who committed the crime, unspecified, but someone else is being blamed. That's lovely. Because red pandas are cool in it, says Uncle Town. Absolutely. You'll be very pleased to hear of the upcoming, I believe, Disney Pixar tale, Red, in which a young girl transforms into a red panda. Keep an eye out for that. Killer Kilch, influencing the influencers, a dark tale of social media and fame. Yowza. If that doesn't have a murder in it, I'll give you the money myself. I think that's definitely a murder tale. A lot of people getting involved there. That's nice. Good job, guys. Good job. Nana Hobbob, philosophical examination of society in the style of a detective pulp titled A Dame Called Dignity. Yowza. Now, what would be very exciting, I believe, is if this could be combined with a quirky fictionalization about how you got together with Definitely Not Duda. That might really set things buzzing. If the examination of society was the backdrop for this quirky meet cute. I mean, I'd read it. Do you know what I mean? I'd read it. Absolutely. Lovely stuff. Philosophical as well. You don't often get quirky philosophy. You don't often get that kind of situation, do you? What is life? This is how we should live life. And have you tried space hoppers? Hey, my God, they're really cool. I sometimes just wear socks of different colours. Sue me. The trolley problem. Things like that. That's good. Gamer Hole will go with a poetry book. That's interesting. Everybody else assuming that it's got to be a narrative fictional book. Gamer Hole saying no. Give me a poetry book full of fantastical descriptions. Just descriptions. Uncle Town, no more fantasy. Oh, that's fair enough. Uncle Town don't particularly like Disney films, though. That's a really broad statement to make. But I can't tell you you're wrong because it's your opinion. Hence, musing. I think points all around for everybody. There's some lovely books coming out there. Lovely books. I would recommend just give them a try. Just sit down in front of the, just start hitting the keys. And then if something comes, if you write a good first chapter, try number 2. Yeah? And then by the end, I mean, how amazing would it be? How amazing would it be if you wrote a story, you wrote a whole book, and it was born today in this chat? I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Uncle Town, I know, controversial. Very controversial. Very controversial. But you're a controversial guy. I respect that. And it's your birthday, so I can't really criticize. Gimme 5. The musing was, which artiste of the past do you think would do best if they were only starting their career in 2022? Get it in the chat, guys. Who's your timeless artiste of the past that you think, even if they were starting their career right now, right today, with the musical tastes of today, the musical mores of society, and the issues of, you know, getting paid an appropriate amount for your work because of streaming, who's getting it? Who's getting it done? Who's getting it done? The question we had was, give me 5 recording artists who created the top 20 grossing songs of 2021. So this was for people coming in new who want to rattle off a couple off the top of their head. We had, I looked up the top 20 grossing songs from last year of the US and the UK. So I got both of them. And I looked at the artists who created them, put them in a list, chucked them on here, and it's all good. Okay? Well done. So you get 1 point for each of these that you wrote down, up to a maximum of 5. If you got more than 5, let me know, and you can revel in your crock points. Wowzers. Look at all these people. Justin Bieber, he's recognizable. Adele. Who else did we get? David Guetta, Ariana Grande. BTS, those Korean chaps. Coldplay, Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran, The Weeknd, Lil Nas X, Dua Lipa. So there are some recognizable ones and a lot that I'd never heard of. Bill and Ted, that's a fun name. That's a fun name to have. Masked Wolf. I would argue that a masked wolf would be largely unnecessary, you know? If a wolf was trying to get into an expensive social club and wore the mask of, say, Pierce Brosnan, I think most people at first glance would be able to say, they wouldn't be saying, isn't it strange that Pierce Brosnan's walking around on all fours? I think they would say, I think that wolf's wearing a mask of Pierce Brosnan. So a masked wolf, unless it's like, you know, oh, I'm a wolf, but I'm dressing up as a dog, perhaps. But even then, I'm not sure it's all on the face, Mr. Wolf. I'm not sure it's all on the face. What are we talking about? Okay, yes, musing. Definitely not Duda. James Dean. Wow, that's a. I didn't realize it had to be a musician, but he did play the bongos. That's fine. That's fine. I'll give you that. I think James Dean would, with his bongo work, would be able to, really climb up the charts there. It's something that people haven't seen in a while, because it's like it's so far away from the norm that, you know, you're coming in and people aren't going to say that's a bit passé. They're going to say, what the heck is this, James Dean? And he's just going to be all like, I mean, he'd have his cigarette, so I don't know whether people would necessarily jive with that too much these days. But I mean, he's just cool, isn't he? He's just cool. And, you know, there's a lot of artists out there that you think, if you weren't as cool as you are, I'm not sure as many people would be listening to you. Killer Kilch, Beethoven featuring Flow Rider. That would be an interesting mix. Throw a bit of Flow Rider in there. It's an interesting test of Flow Rider's skills and abilities to say, hey, Beethoven's coming in. He's got a real different sensibility to what people are used to dealing with these days. But if between the second and third, I don't know what you'd call it, classical music, stanza? I don't know. About 2/3 of the way in to one of Beethoven's sonatas, if Flow Rider comes in, spitting some verses, is that enough for people to say, well, that first bit was weird, but if he's okay with Flow Rider, then he's okay with me? I mean, that's the power of Flow Rider, as we all know. Super Nash 18, Evil Knievel. Again, maybe I should have specified that it had to be a musician, but that's absolutely fine. Evil Knievel, I mean, great stunt work. That's, that's evergreen, isn't it? That's very much deciduous. Taylor Swift's as game a whole. I mean, she kind of is around right now. I think it would be a pretty unfair person who would say that Taylor Swift was an artist of the past. I think she would do very well at the moment as well, because she is doing very well at the moment. Nana Hobba, Prince Rogers Nelson. I mean, Prince is so out there again. I mean, the vocals and the kind of, I think I mean, it's funk, it's great, it's the guitar, it's kind of, he's one of those musical people. He's one of those people that just kind of gets music in a very, very real sense. You kind of feel like if you threw him any kind of weird Eastern European stringed instrument, gave him 20 minutes, he'd get you a tune out of it. And it might not be Kiss, it might not be Purple Rain, it might not be Little Red Corvette, but he'd get you something good. That's a good choice. TB Douglas, Fleetwood Mac. A bit indie, but I think people would like the vibe. And then immediately TB, second guessing themselves. Or actually Whitney! Whitney Houston, timeless, absolutely. I mean, when you've got a voice like Whitney, she could drop in Beethoven's time. She could do the reverse. Drop into the 17th century. So, my God, what is she wearing? What are these sequins? We haven't even invented sequins yet. What is going on here? And she opens up those pipes and just gives them a couple of bars. She would revolutionize music. Uncle Town, Bruno Mars. Again, Bruno Mars is on the list. So, you were guessing. Okay, that's good. Oh, and just clarifying, I did not mean Taylor Swift for the Timeless Artist thing. She was not on this. I think she would have been up there with albums, but not songs. Interesting. Killer Kilch knows modern music better than you thought. That's great. TB Douglas knows Billie Eilish. Yeah, that's surprising. She did the James Bond song. I would have thought that would have been pretty high. But Supernash 18 heard about 10% of them. That's fine. I think if you get 10%, if you got that hovering around that 10%, I think you're still your finger somewhat on the pulse. Maybe not up here. Maybe you're checking for the pulse on the shoulder, but you're in the right ballpark. SJBX 72. Sorry, checking out. Battery is giving up. Have a good week, everyone. Thank you, SJBX 72. Nana Hobob, they sound fake to me. Well, I assure you, this is on the official Billboard website and the official UK Top 40 website. So I haven't made them up. If they are made up, they are not made up by me. Let's say that. And then finally, we've got Movie Ladder. The musing was, if you lived in the Quiet Place universe with super hearing monsters, what sound would inevitably give away your location and cause you to be chomped up? Chomped up. What sound are you making? I've got some possibilities, but I don't want to spoil yours. I don't want to spoil yours, guys. Get them in the chat. So here's our ladder. Quiet Place Part 2 and Aloha. Not a lot of people watched Aloha. A lot of controversy because Emma Stone played a half Swedish person when, of course, she is not Swedish at all. A lot of controversy there. I think turned a lot of people off it. But there was somebody who was in A Quiet Place Part 2 and Aloha, and that somebody was Mr. John Krasinski. He's in his, obviously, post The Office form. He's big tall guy, and he's kind of broadened out a little bit. So I believe he played some kind of Navy chap in Aloha. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I'm a big fan of Bradley Cooper. Aloha and Zombieland. Emma Stone, there she is. I already spoiled it for you. Emma Stone was in Aloha and Zombieland. She's not half Swedish, though. She's not half Swedish at all. Shouldn't have done that. Zombieland and No Country for Old Men is Mr. Woody Harrelson. No Country for Old Men and Sicario is the wonderfully gruff Josh Brolin. And Sicario, Quiet Place Part 2 is Ms. Emily Blunt. So well done. You get 1 point for each of those that you got right. These ones, it's difficult to say what's easy and what's not. I think I tried to keep them all fairly large, fairly well-known films. But I think, if you know them, you know them. And if you don't, it can be very tricky. So well done if you got those right. Because, if you're struggling to think of them, I think that's one that does become quite tricky. 1 point for each of those that you got right. If you lived in the Quiet Place universe with superhero monsters, what sound would inevitably give away your location and cause you to be eaten? Let's see what we've got. Killer Kilt straight in with one of the ones that I thought of. Farts, I'm afraid. So there's a lovely sense of resignation about that you'd hear about these monsters. You think, oh my God, they're really good at hearing, so you can't make any sound. And you'd almost just think, I'm just going to let one rip now and just get it over with, because otherwise maybe the honourable thing to do in that instance would be to move away from as many other people as possible. Tiptoe, being very quiet, being very quiet, being very quiet. Go into the middle of a field, far away from other people, kind of draw them out, let rip with a real Bronx cheer, and act as a distraction. I believe that in the film they have fireworks to set off far away. But if Killer Kilch was going out there, Captain Oates, I may be some time. And then that's honourable. That's honour. That's honour. Definitely not due to coughing, because I accidentally sealed water wrong. Interesting. So as in it's gone down the wrong hole? Because that happens to me a lot as well. That happens to me as a lot. I think I just think my throat is just a little bit creative, and sometimes it says, hey, into the lungs for you. Gamer Hole, accidentally falling over, bumping into something, or humming. Humming would be a tough one, because accidentally falling over, as you say, that's an accident. Accidentally bumping into something, that's an accident. You can't help that sometimes. It's just, bump into it. Oh, sorry. But humming, that's an interesting one. I just think your head's not in the game there, Gamer Hole. I think your head's not in the game, and at some point, you are asking for it. I don't want to be the one to say that, but if again, like with Killer, you think, well, this is a matter of time. This is a matter of time. Nana Hobot sneezing, bad seasonal allergies. I do, yeah, that is. You do imagine in the Quiet Place universe, if they manage to work their way out of the terror and they manage to rebuild society, obviously there's a lot of bad things coming out of that, a lot of tragedy, a lot of people losing, a lot of people very close to them. However, if we are going to try and look on the positives, I would imagine that bad seasonal allergies would be wiped out. That would just be gone. A lot of we would just say goodbye. TB Douglas, 100% would be my dog, who loves to snuggle with me. That sounds lovely. But barks at any sound he doesn't recognize. Yeah, that could be tricky. The dogs would be a tough thing, I think, because you can't really explain to them the premise of the world that you're living in. You can't really explain to them in simple terms. Like they can't see, but they can hear really well. Like a dog's just go, what? Give me some ham. So that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And you might have to make some very tough decisions that it's best not to dwell on until we're in that situation. Otherwise, you're just going to bum yourself out. Tripping over is my key trait. Okay, that's fair enough. TB Douglas, I thought she was playing a Hawaiian character, not Swedish. Well, TB, this is referring to Emma Stone. She was playing a character who is, I believe, either half Hawaiian or half Chinese and half Swedish. So a lot of people were on at her about, hey, you're not East Asian in any way, shape, or form. Just because you've got slightly kind of cat-shaped eyes does not mean you get to step into the lived experience of an East Asian person. But I'm sitting there thinking, so she understands what it's like to be a Swede? She understands that? What's going on with Swedish people? Sauna, Loganberries, IKEA. You think it's that easy, Emma Stone? You think it's that easy, Emma Stone? Come on, guys. They really should have found somebody there, scoured through Equity or SAG. Get me somebody who is half East Asian and half Swedish. Because otherwise, They're just not going to get it. They're just not going to get it. Okay? Killer Kilch, Lucy. But again, Lucy... I mean, Lucy's a chameleon. Obviously, Lucy's a chameleon. But Lucy doesn't understand Swedishness. I mean, yeah, she's a free-living woman. She could, but you'd be running into the same issues. I mean, I thought Emma Stone had a wonderful, wonderful performance. But she didn't get it. She didn't really get it deep down. Nana Hobbob, she has no instinctive concept of Hygge. Absolutely not. Especially because they're on Hawaii. So the idea of Hygge there is like, oh, no way. Points all round, guys. Points all round. A lot of very tragic but understandable deaths in the Quiet Place universe for us. I don't think we would last very long. So those are all the points that we're going to be having this week, right? 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 Wrong. Minute to win it. It is the most exciting minute in game show history. Minute to win it. Let's go, says Killer Kilch. Absolutely. This is your chance to win 2 extra points. And there's a little bit of a change this week. A little bit of a change. Because prior to this, I was like, it's very important to me with each of the rounds of this quiz that we play that each of them has a very tangible benefit to you as a creative artiste. I want to improve you with each and every one of these. That's why I do the little explanation before the rounds. Give me 5, you feel like a better artiste. Red herring, you understand, you see kind of what's going on, you kind of are able to work backwards. What was the other one? Movie ladder. Yeah, you understand the process of laddering. And with this, I thought, hey, it doesn't really matter whether the topic is art related or not, because this is all about getting into my mind, guys. If you can connect in real time with an artist of some repute, not me, then that's going to improve you as an artiste as well. Okay? So I have written down or created over here on my lightbox something. Yeah? And I'm going to transmit that to you through my mind. So you need to look into my mind and you need to tell me, you need to try and write down what I've written down on here. And the only help I'm going to give you is in honor of Storm Eunice that has battered the UK this week. Very simply, weather words. So I'm thinking of a weather word, guys. Weather vocabulary. It could be a weather system. It could be a description of weather. You've got a minute. Get it out of my brain, guys. As many guesses as you can, each one in its own chat message. Let's go. Storm, pressure, blustery, front, twister. You've got it already, and I love it. You really understand what we're doing here. All different types of weather. Norwesterly, lovely stuff, Sivanashwanate. Temperature, love drizzle. Like that, TV. What else have we got? Weather front, sunny, torrential, tornado. Oh, this is working so much better than I anticipated. This is great. Jet stream. Oh, lovely. Moist gamer hole. A lot of people don't like that, but it works in this instance. Here we go. 10 seconds to go, guys. Let's get your last ones in there. Read that mind. It's right in there. I am spent. I am absolutely spent. Look at all of these. This is, yeah, we're definitely just doing vocab words from now on. That was too good. I thought it was good when we did Arnold Schwarzenegger films, but this is wowza. This is wowza. Look at this. Windy Pop, says Monkey Pixie Funk. That's getting back to the Killer Kilch Quiet Place situation there. So let's not. Look at this. Cumulonimbus. Maple Panda. Lovely stuff. Arid. This is just But there can be only one winner, and I can confirm to you, somebody's won. Somebody got it. Somebody got it. Inclement Supernatural 8. Gosh, there's been some lovely words here. The winner. Oh, the tension. Definitely not Duda. Definitely not Duda. Overcast. Lovely stuff. Extra 2 points. To definitely not Duda there. Well done, you. My word. Let's head back to Maine. Let's get that chat on. Which means, oof, good gracious. You guys get your, tot your scores up. Lovely work, TB. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Guys, while you tot up your scores, I want you to remind you that in this quiz, you're only competing against yourself. There's no point threshold to being smart, okay? If you've got all the questions right that you realistically could have been expected to get, then you are right. Art does not become successful because of the opinions of others or box office numbers. It becomes successful when you say, yeah, I think that's great. If you think your performance today was great, then it was great. No two ways about it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, not live, make sure you write down your score and your amusing answers in the comments below, because I would love to hear how you did. What do we all get, guys? What do we all get? What do we got? 12 for Nana Hobbob. That's lovely. TB was a lovely 12. Definitely not Duda. Is that correct? 19? That might be a record. That might be an all-time record. My word. Monkey Pixie Funk 13. Well done, you. Killer Kilch 15. Outstanding. Outstanding. Results here today. Supernatural 8. 4. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, you. Anybody else want to dive in? Anybody else want to dive? Oh, we've only got 4 viewers? How can that be the case? Like 6 people have said what the... I don't believe that. I don't believe that. What is the question that you got wrong? Definitely. What is the question that you got wrong? Gosh, definitely didn't even need those extra 2 points. Wowzers. What did you get wrong, definitely? I'm interested now. I'm intrigued. Got the Josh Brolin one wrong. Wow. Wow. I think all a round of applause for definitely not Duda today. 19. That is unbelievable. Nana Hobble probably closer to 50 views. Yeah, probs. Yeah, probs. I can buy that. I can buy that. Didn't see Sicario and haven't seen No Country in a long time. Well, we should see Sicario. It's very good. Very tense. Very tense. Oof. Brolin. He's not a cuddly character in that. I'll say that for him. So next week, definitely not Duda. We'll get to choose whichever round definitely once. That's the benefit of getting the high point score. Outstanding work. But thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Happy birthday again to Uncle Town. And thank you to each and every one of you for watching. I know you have a lot of options of how you spend your time. And I really do appreciate you spending this time with me. It makes me very happy, and I hope it makes you very happy as well. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you felt creative all at the same time. I hope that you now feel... your girl Sarah Kilch, we haven't heard from her for a while, but hopefully girl Sarah Kilch feels like creativity has been nursed back to health, like a foal with a poorly leg. I hope you'll join me next time, same place. Twitch.tv/iamnotme, iamart. For another opportunity to improve your art and to say to yourself, yeah, baby, I am smart. Cheers to you all. Thank you all for watching. Oh, she's putting Iris to sleep. Well, I wish her luck. I hear tears. Well, that's a shame. Babies, innit? Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I will see you next week. You are all smart. I love you all. Take care.
So there we go, and well done you, whatever your score might be. I definitely think that you are smart, though prob's not as smart as me. Your art will be better, trust me on this, should be nothing short of sublime. That's why you learn, and don't stop now, I'll see you right here next time. I am smart.